Let's look at an example of a situation in which fractions and decimal might come into play in real life. Alright? Suppose, for example, there's a concrete wall and you want to drill a hole in that wall. And at the same time, you want to, let me make it whatever length it is, you want to use concrete screws to screw into that hole. Right? Now, certainly, the concrete screws that you select, they should not be the exact size as the diameter of the diameters of the screw should not be the exact size as the diameter of the hole, because it will just slide back out. If you look closely at the concrete screw, you'll see that the threading is made like saw, so it actually cuts through the concrete and scrapes it as you screw it in. So it is going to be slightly larger. The diameter of the screw should be slightly larger than the diameter of the hole that you drill into the concrete. Alright, now the screws that you have available are 3/16 of an inch. So dealing with inches is one example of where you find fractions, where the inch is divided into half, then the half into half again, which is a quarter, then the quarter is halved again, which is 1/8, then the 1/8 is halved again, which is 1/16, and so on and so forth. So in this case, the size of the concrete screw is 3/16, and you have various drill bits that you're going to use. Now, you might have 1/2 inch, these are the bits, some common size drill bits, 1/2 inch. You might have 7/8 inch. You may have, say, 7/32 inch, 9/32, 5/32. You might have 3/8, and so on and so forth. Now the question is, which of these drill bits are you going to use to drill this hole so that the 3/16 screw can be tightly held into it? Remember, the diameter of the drill bit should be slightly smaller than the screw, so that the diameter of the screw is slightly larger than the hole that the drill bit makes. Now I want you to pause the video, think about it, and figure out which one of these bits you're going to use, and come back. Okay, have you done so? Now, this is a 3/16 inch screw. What you can do here in order to compare them is to have common denominators. So the screw, since 32 is the largest denominator you have here, you can consider 3/16 as a number 32. Which number are you going to use? 3/16 is what? 32. Alright, if you said 6/32, that would be right, because 16 times 2 gives you 32, 3 times 2 gives you 6. Now, the hole that you're going to drill, what size will it be? Is it going to be the 1/2 inch bit that you use? 1/2 inch is what? 32. 2 times 16 gives you 32. So you must multiply this by 16. 16/32. This hole is larger than the screw. It cannot work. The 1/2 inch cannot work. if you try the 7/8 inch, 7/8 is how many? 32. Well, if you multiply 8 by 4, you get 32. So you must multiply 7 by 4 as well, and you get 28. This is 6/32 and this is 28/32. Obviously, the hole is much larger than the drill bit, so 7/8 cannot work either. What about the 7/32? The 7/32, the hole for the 7/32 is larger than the screw. That cannot work, right? You wouldn't even need to use a screwdriver. Just slide the screw in and it just drops back out. So the 7/32 can't work. So far we know that the 1/2 inch is out, the 7/8 is out, the 7/32 is out. The 9/32 is still larger than the 6/32, so that is out. The 3/8, what about the 3/8? 3/8 is the same as how much? 32. 8 by 4 gives you 32, so 3 by 4 gives you 12. This is still too large. What about the 5/32? Let's see. 5/32. 5/32 is a bit smaller than 6/32. So the 5/32 drill bit is the one that you're going to use. Alright? So in this case, you solve a problem by applying common denominators to the fraction. Good. Now, let's say you have this 5/32 inch. This 5/32 inch drill bit. You also have some drill bit in metric, and they tell you the sizes in millimeters, but you don't have fractions to compare, and they tell you that they have all size drill bits, and there is one equivalent to the 5/32 inch drill bit, but the marking on the drill bit is written in metric and there's no fraction. How would you be able to tell which metric drill bit you should select if you want a 5/32 inch drill bit, right? But none is available at the hardware. Now what you can do, the 5/32, let me get my converter. Alright, what you'll have to do is consider placing the measurement in length for the drill bit over here, right? In inches. This is in inches, and you want to convert from inch to millimeters. Good. Now, in your calculator, in your converter, which you can install on your phone, you're at the hardware and you want to find out which exact metric size drill bit is equivalent to the 5/32, or you have to put 5 divided by 32, and that converts it into a decimal. Now what you have as a decimal, you put in your converter 0. So the 5/32 inch is the same as 0.15625 inches. So 0.1562 inches. Then you get the readout as 3.96875 millimeters. So now you know exactly the size millimeter metric drill bit that you want. In this case, you might see a 3.97, 3.969 or something like that. 4 would be close, very close. If you see a 3.95, that's close enough. Alright? So, as long as you see exactly this number or a number close to it, then you can select the correct size drill bit. As remember, imperial measurements in inches, they use fractions. And metric measurement, they use decimal. So it's necessary to convert from fraction to decimal when you want the measurement in metric, for example, in millimeters. So that's one example where you have to apply a fraction, compare with other fractions by having a common denominator, and then converting to decimal in order to solve yet another problem that you have. Alright, so we'll continue next time.